You arise and shine. Hey, brother.
Be grounded.
Hey, sister.
Be grounded.
Hey, brother, sister.
Reach out.
Take over. Hey. This is the Young Adult Chatroom, and here we have exciting conversations about life, faith, and Sarfoa would say edutainment. And last week we had an exciting conversation about still the Vision 2028, but our own way of finding out how we can do one or two things to get us all into the mood, you understand? And so today we have another exciting episode. You see, this vision, we want to know how you and I can take a part in it, do something, and let God be proud of us, not just the chairman, but then God to be proud of us. So that is why we are taking our time to go into it little by little. And today is no exception. But before we go into that, Sarfoa, last week's episode,
yes,
what made it for you?
Under the big conversation, we treated the topic, living your best life, embracing your calling. One of the things that really stood out for me was that one of the ways you know that you are living your best life or embracing your calling is through fulfillment. You do something and realize that this is where I want to be all the time. I want to see people prosper. I don't want to see needy kids on the street anymore. So I'm doing things to make sure that it is curtailed. And so as we move on with our lives, we make sure that we embrace our calling, and through that we will live our best life. Over to you.
Beautiful. And as you're doing that, you are transforming your world.
Absolutely.
And that is what we are saying, that when you possessing the nation, you are also transforming your own world. And so before we go into the nitty-gritties, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. And we are jumping into the big conversation. In the big conversation, we are looking at something very interesting, the chill ministry space for the youth. And our focus is on the children's ministry and the teens ministry. We are bringing on a guest who is going to help us understand how we can have an automatic ministry, you know, not now going to look for it, but it being there already. And then we are going to help the church, build up those generations after us. So don't go anywhere, grab your pen, call a friend. Let's meet in the big conversation. Whoop. Welcome back. This is the Young Adult Chat Room, and this is the big conversation where we are coming to have a very, very insightful conversation about the automatic ministry space for the youth in our church, or let's say the chill ministry space. You understand why we are calling it that in a bit. So get a pen, get a paper, get a tablet, whatever you can record with, and call a friend to call a friend. Let's learn something about how we have a big ministry we have a chill ministry space where we can do something for the Lord. So, Yesu.
Mofradamfo.
Yesu. Oye mofre na wa. Etu. All that we are trying to say is that the youth has a very great ministry. And where is that? In the teens ministry and in the children's ministry. You know, the interesting thing about our church is that there is a ministry for everybody. Because teenagers are upcoming. And sometimes I feel that the young adults can easily handle the teenagers than the older people because the generation gap is very small. So you understand them better. Look at someone who is about, let's say, 12 years old, handling a child that's about 6 years old, and someone who is about 25, handling a child who's about 6 years old. The challenge is there may be something that that child will do that the 25 years will be like, hey, boy, dear, sit down, don't do that. What's the meaning of this? And the 12 years old may perhaps even join the 6 years old in doing the same thing. So it makes it easier for them to actually handle people that their generation are quite closer. Now today our conversation is, the church has teens ministry, the church has children's ministry. How can the youth take advantage of this already established ministries to also come up, like, partake in these ministries? So before we even start the conversation, we have a guest with us, and I'm very happy to introduce my own sister, Eunice Zakuto Ansah. She's the first lady of Amanfrom English Assembly. If you are watching us, we are saying hello.
Hey.
And we are very excited to have her here. You remember her from Crash Down But Not Destroy, where you had a lot of fun. And today she's here to give us a lot of insights into this topic that we are discussing as well. Eunice, you're so welcome.
Thank you, sis.
Welcome back.
So let's go back to the question I was asking. How can the youth take advantage of this already established ministries in our church?
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to pick my submission from Colossians chapter 2, verse 6,
Great.
which says that, so then, just as you've received Christ Jesus as Lord, continue to live your lives in Him. Continue to live your life. It means actively live your life in Him. So as a youth, once you have moved from, say, teens class to youth, don't be a passive member of the church. Actively be involved in living in Christ. How do you do that? You can serve as a big brother or a role model to these young ones. Just as you said, when I entered the children's ministry, you see, I'm not their teacher.
Right.
But they say, okay, I'm old, but I'm not too old. I'm able to blend in so well with them. So when I enter, the reception and the joy with which they receive me is so lovely. When they see you out there, they want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So getting in there as a youth to touch their lives is easy for me. It's like they're already ready for you.
Yeah.
Auntie Eunice, Sister Eunice, everybody wants to come close. So I see that as a good opportunity for me to also engage them, guide them, share learnings with them, my experiences, where they are, how I can use that as a light to guide them. So I think it's a beautiful opportunity that we are all coming to ourselves. The awareness creation is key. Now the awareness has been created that it's an opportunity that we shouldn't leave bare. We should take hold of it and run with it, because see, they are the next torch bearers.
Yeah.
You can just easily hand over to them, just as we've been grounded.
Right.
We should find a way of helping them to be also grounded.
Right.
Yeah.
So this means that we shouldn't have that situation that the church is asking for Sunday school teachers or
It should be
teenage class
easier.
teachers.
It should be easier.
Yes.
Yes,
Very
because
easy.
every time I get a platform like this, I talk about the fact that Sunday school is one of my
Yeah,
highlights.
yeah.
It really put me in that shape and that person I am today. I can go back and point at the days of Sunday school having a huge role in my life now. And so someone like me having such a good testimony, why don't I go back
Right.
and then try to groom the ones who are also coming up gradually? And there you have very relatable things to say for them to, it's easier for them to relate with you when you put it that way, because you have been there before and you know, and they are also there. So it's easier for that connection, that even emotional connection, because whilst you were there, you also knew some of the challenges you were going through, some of the kind of friendship that you wanted in certain Sunday school teachers at that time. For us, I think that was how come my Sunday school was one of the best, because the teachers there were absolutely the best.
Yes.
And it's like they were also really from the church. So even though they were old, some of them were old. There was one guy, Sir Augustine, that was how we used to call him.
Okay.
He was young, so it was easier for us to roll with him, to do half-night services with him, and we just liked him every time he was around. So I mean, I think this is basically the basis of having an automatic ministry for such ministry, so that it's easier for you to understand certain things in the church one, and also for that emotional connection, so that we are well grounded, as the theme for even this year's youth ministry stands for.
So you see, like I was saying, because we are younger, it's easier for them to warm up to us and want to open up to us, because maybe we may not just shout on them or dismiss whatever feelings that they have, whatever thoughts that they have. We may take our time to listen to them, even if we don't have the solution, and then later we come back to them with a solution if we get one. Now, one thing I realized was that some of us had an exciting Sunday school years, an exciting teen service years, but there were some things we wanted more. There were things that we wanted, like there should be a change, like it should go in a particular way. So my question to all of us, what are some of the things that you think that as a youth you can bring to this teenage classes or Sunday school or children's service to make it more exciting and more interesting for the younger generation to want to enjoy? Let me start with Sarfoa.
I think, you see, whenever it is like Sunday school ministry, how do they call it? Children's ministry. Yes, children's ministry time when they come to the adult church or service to preach. Some they lead songs, they read the scriptures, and I'm like, this is so amazing. For some others that I see them read the scriptures from head to toe, I'm like, wow, I would love to hear this more often and not just during children's ministry time. So once in a blue moon, we try to connect them. And I love what our apostle, a big shout out to him, apostle for PIWC Atomic City on the Hill, Apostle Tony Mensah does. Most of the times when we come to church, we start with the children's ministry and the teens. They all have to be part of the service, and then at a particular point, sometimes he calls them all in front, and then he prays for them, and then they go back to their classes. So whilst they are growing, they even know how the things are done in the adult church already, and they know where to position themselves. If it is choir, I want to be a chorister because I have the ministry of singing. If it's about prayer, they have already identified certain things and how to acclimatize because they have been a part of the service since childhood. So I think it's one of the things that I would love to introduce if I am to start the mentorship with them.
Yeah. So, Auntie Eunice, what about you?
Yeah. So what I would want to add is that just as we are eager to be TAs in our schools, let me say teaching assistants in our schools, when it comes to the church, there should be that energy and desire to become TAs. For instance, if I'm a good dancer, like my brother don't pay, I walk into the children's ministry, I see the children who have such gifts. We can start a creative ministry in the children's department, and that would give a lot of. They will be happy to be in such a ministry because they cannot dance anywhere. We are not saying we are. Let me say we discourage them from going to clubs and things, and so we have to create that ministry for them that they will be able to exhibit their talents. So just as we are TAs in our secular jobs, or let me say the universities, when it comes to the church, we should have the desire to become TAs in the children's ministry to support them.
That's great. I remember when I was in the university, a friend of mine encouraged me to go and teach Sunday school, and I was telling him,
the stress.
I can't. I was like, I can't stand when you're telling the child, sit down, the child said, no, I won't do it. I'll not be able to. He was like, when you go and teach Sunday school, they'll teach you patience.
Yes.
They will teach you like so many rich values that you think you have gotten that from growing up, but you haven't. And after that, you realize that when you are relating with people, you relate with them better. I was like, I've said it's over still. So after that, not too long, then I got a call from home saying that, they need teenage class teachers because they are trying to build a teenage class. I said, that one is easier because at least they will listen. If I say, don't sit here, they will listen to me. So when I went back home, I decided to try it out. And I was very much excited because that's why it's a chill ministry space. Like there are people are ready to listen to whatever you have to say, whatever experience you want to share. Even if you are boring, they are still there listening to you. So it was very impactful for me. Up to now, some of my students see me and they call me Teacher Adele, as if I'm still teaching them. But one of the experiences I had was they needed people to talk to, not just about social things, but about their faith and spiritual things. There are lots of things that they don't understand. A lot of things going on in the church they don't understand. A lot of preaching in the church they have no clue. Some of the questions they ask you, you'll be surprised. Like
have so many questions,
and it's so deep. Sometimes it's so deep. You have to tell them, you know what? Let me come back to you next week and answer the question. And so I feel that it will even train us the youth. Look at the game we were playing, asking that do we always read our Bibles every day, and some of us were found guilty that we don't even go into it. But see yourself as a teenage class teacher, a Sunday school teacher. You have to find a word for them. And those kids, they can ask you a question that you realize that they know more than you. So you really have to go into them. And I think when we do that, it will train us. And it will help us to grow. And I think as Christians, the best thing for us is for us to grow. Now, another thing that makes me excited about Sunday school is the action songs.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to be jumping with them and all of those things. I remember the song, Nebuchadnezzar. That one
like this.
in our time was not there. So
Yes.
when I started hearing, I was like, hey, which one is Nebuchadnezzar? But the way they are happy about it and they just want to be dancing like this, even though we've been advised that because of ministry to persons with disability, we should tone down that a bit. Yeah. But I think action songs and those things kind of got us quite excited. Now, I like the point you came in with the dancing. If you have a talent, you can go in there and bring a ministry out of it. So in this case, how can someone, do you just get up and say, oh, today I've come, I'm a Sunday school teacher?
As I am.
Multiple positions, Baba. Do you think people should just get up and just go and they should be accepted? Do you think there should be rules around how we even get teachers and all that? What are your thoughts on that?
So I personally think you would have to deal with yourself first.
Great.
When you are led, or just from our conversations, if you take it upon yourself to take that ministry up, you have to prepare yourself. You have to prayerfully take the step. Once you have prayed and you have dealt with yourself, you engage leadership in the church. Because of, you cannot just walk into the children's ministry. We don't know your background, who you are, your level, anything. You just come and pour what you have on the children. So you have to engage leadership in the church so that at least they would sign you off as, okay, come in and come and support us. During COVID, I had this strong desire to just organize children in my neighborhood because I saw that they were not going to school. And my next house was a compound house. They will play and you hear screams of their names. Mebu, Mebu, Mebu. These children, so they are home and they are just playing. So I decided to engage them. So I went there and I told them that if we you best start Sunday school with you.
Wow.
Madam, social distancing.
I
tell you, they know more than you.
So when we come, we'll do social distancing here. So I created a space, and every time I had this book with pictures, Bible story with pictures. So I carry it with my candies, and I started with them. Wherever they see me, and you see the nice one, how I got their attention was, it wasn't a normal church we have come, somebody will lead prayers or something. When I enter, I say a prayer, okay, I started with testimonies with them. You see a small boy come up, I don't see a dino.
Wow.
So it was exciting. So I realized that these children, they have a lot in here. And that's your D, and it was just financial. It was about the financial status of the family.
Wow.
The baby, none of yes, come and no bomb pie.
This is
bomb pie. I was single me, or bomb pie, and I am be a quiet and ne mammy or Tom there work at market.
Wow.
Okay, so I realized that, see, all these ones that we neglect, sometimes there are conversations and they are questioning, they come as a border.
Yes.
You park them somewhere. You park them somewhere. But I realize that there is a lot of wisdom in their conversations. So let me bring them close and then engage them. So that is how we can start. Once you identify that, now we've all, like our eyes have been opened, that there is space there. Get ready, buckle up your shoes, prepare yourself, speak to leadership and make a move.
Wow, speak to leadership and make a move. Sarfoa wants to come in, but we want to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll pick it up from there.
When questions riddle our young minds, where do we find answers? Doubt, fears, struggles. You're not alone.
Adele, I think it's about time. We need to have this conversation ASAP.
Then let's get to it. And that's on period.
It's time to rise and to face the hard truths and embrace real conversations. Faith isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Join Sarfoa and Adele as they dive deep into the issues that matter most.
So many questions, and we are here to talk about them all.
This is where the journey of faith intercepts with realities of modern life experiences, from religion, businesses, faith, personal development, you can name them all.
Join us as we unpack the real issues young Christians face today, every Sunday on Pent TV and online.
On the Young Adult Chatroom.
Don't just wonder, be part of the conversation. The Young Adult Chatroom. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Pent TV and online. Let's talk about it.
You're welcome back. So we're still discussing the chill ministry space for the youth ministry in the teens ministry and children's ministry. So Sarfoa, I wanted to add
Yes, I wanted to add to what she was saying, that most of the times, and I would even say it's a church problem. I think it's a national or even a continental or world problem. Most of the times when we are setting policies, we are doing strategies, we tend to forget the most important amongst them all, which is the future leaders, the younger ones. So I think maybe from time to time in some of our services, we can deliberately announce to give the platform for people who have it on their hearts, but sometimes maybe they are shy, maybe they don't even know the system. They think some people are very conscious of the fact that they may make a mistake, so they don't even want to approach anyone at all. So that people know the processes to follow whenever they get that guts to want to do something for these younger ones. I think it's something we can do.
I want to even admonish our church leaders and I mean the elders of our churches to train the teachers. You know, it's a ministry space we want to invade, but it doesn't mean that you should leave us to do whatever we want to do. Sometimes the people in there, they don't really know what they just want to help, but they don't know what they are doing. So just as we are encouraged to have training for Bible study teachers, let's have similar things for the children's ministry teachers, teens ministry teachers, just to build them up. There's something I'm planning to do, and that is to, I wouldn't say I know it all, but just to share some thoughts on the various teachers who handle younger ones. You know, younger ones are very delicate. The way they do their things, you may not understand them, but if you don't have that, what's the word? This is psychology. If you don't have that mindset of how to even handle them, you may push them into some kind of trauma. Because the way you may talk to one child, you see, recently I encountered something and I said, hey, this mental health thing is very true. And it's very real, because someone said something, it was not even to me. Then all of a sudden, that's a stress, mental stress. It's like, all of a sudden I can't do what I want to do. And I was like, hey, this mental health thing is very serious. So the same thing, if you don't know how to handle these ones, you may say something to some of them. Maybe I think you are saying it in passing. A very impacted life for a long time. And the child may see you one day and say that this thing you said to me is what has brought me here. And you wouldn't feel okay because that was not your intention. So I think that training will really help us. Even though we are saying it's an available ministry space, let our leaders please help us, train us, give us the resources that we need so that we can actually build this people, this generation up the way the Lord wants us to build them.
But on the contrary, I think there are still, some very good Sunday school teachers who are doing amazingly well.
Oh, yes. I'm not saying they are not doing well at all.
I doff my hat. No, I know, but I'm just adding that to it. I just doff my hat for them. And I also want to add to what you were saying, that it would be good for such teachers who you see the way they handle their kids and you're like, this is pure talent.
Yes. Even parents cannot handle their kids like that.
People like that, we need them to train the ones coming up.
Yes.
So I think it's something they can catch up on just with.
And some people even say that even this kind of ministry is a calling.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are shying away from it. But it's not just a calling. I think it's something you can also intentionally try and get. Like me, I didn't want to have anything to do with children's ministry, teens ministry. But eventually, when I got in there, I realized that, oh, this is a very nice place. I mean, talking to people and they are listening to you, and next week when they come, what did you hear? They are telling you what you said. You feel very fulfilled. Like when we were the way we were talking about it in the other episode. Now, finally, I just want us to wrap the conversation up. Teens ministry, children's ministry. We are saying it's an automatic ministry space for the youth ministry. Now, in an attempt to even get yourself into these places, as Eunice said, you have to prepare yourself. You have to look inward and train yourself to get there. What are some of the other things that we can also do or even introduce into these ministries that can make it more exciting for more children to come in, for more teenagers to come in. You know, in our Vision 2028, one part of it is saying that as I want to paraphrase, as we are being transformed with the values and principles of the kingdom of God, we in turn transform our society. So there's that societal transformation in there. So what are some of the things we can do in the area of children's ministry and teens ministry, but just to make sure that we are getting more children into the ministry, more teenagers into the ministry? Any thoughts on that?
I think I'll just pick from the story that Eunice shared. During the COVID, I mean, this was a beautiful initiative that nobody really told her to do, but I'm sure the droppings of the Holy Spirit, and it was amazing. Even the testimony that you mentioned that a younger boy shared. So maybe we can just look within our space, where we are, the community, at a time that we are free, we see some kids there. Sometimes it's just giving a candy or a biscuit, something small, and realize that they would get close to you. So there was this young boy in my area that we used to just see him, we just greet and then goes. And then later he realized that we were nice to him. Immediately he sees my car or my husband's car, he will run, go and open the door for us.
Wow.
And then sometimes I give him something, and then I invited him to the house, I gave him food, and then he's opening up now. So whenever he's not well or there is something happening, he then opens up. So I'm sure with time, oh, let's go to church. Did you go to church? Which church? Oh, I joined my mommy. I realized that he's very close with the mom.
Okay.
So gradually, I'm thinking this is a very, very normal way of getting these ones closer to us, and also to retain the ones who are already in the church. I think kids love to play.
Right.
We should learn how to incorporate these recreational activities in our dealings.
Learn
we are
through
teaching
playing.
them, and sometimes you do some cute party. It may not be a special occasion, but it's just randomly. So they always come looking forward to our meetings. So I think it's something we can be doing.
Auntie Eunice, you want to say something?
Yes, so I want to touch on the other side, which is for the teachers. I think there should be some form of recognition for those who are doing a good job.
Okay.
So that will encourage those who eventually found themselves there. Maybe they didn't want to be there, but something pushed them there. If they see how we are recognizing those who are doing a good job, they will give it their best shot. So I think that recognition should go out for our Sunday school teachers, and some of us too, who have had good Sunday school teachers taking care of us. We should look back and do good to them, so that they will encourage them and spur them on to do the work even more better.
So as we are talking about this as well, when you were talking, what came to my mind was catch them young and they'll be yours forever. So we are not just saying go to the children's ministry classroom or teens ministry classroom and just go and do ministry, but you can go out there. An example you gave. So you can go out there and gather the children, just as an example you gave. Maybe by the time you have done the 4th meeting, you will get some of the children giving their lives to Christ. I think it's in Christianity that we underplay teenagers and children coming to Christ. It's like, how many souls did you win for Christ? 2. Now, like I said, they are children. They are like, children. And
Some even call them half. They number them as half.
Really. But you see, there are some religions that are very particular about children because they know that immediately we get these ones grounded. Train up a child the way he should go, and when he grows, he will not depart from it. Immediately we get that child now, wherever the person that child may get to, the child will remember and will stay glued to it. That's why the people we are calling other sheep now, we are finding a very difficult way of getting them because they've been grounded from childhood. Some of them will tell you, I was born like this. Can you imagine? Religion, you were born like into the... So it makes it quite difficult. But I think the avenues that we've been given, like schools outreach ministry, chaplaincy ministry, it gives us the opportunity to get more children, get more teenagers in. So if you have an opportunity to visit a GSS, a basic school, even kindergarten, don't underplay our generation, the kind of, So if you get the opportunity, just say something about Jesus to them. Even this song, Where is Jesus? Inside my heart, I will love him. The kids really love that song. Just singing that song to the kids, they will really love it. And sometime later, they may remember it and it will help them. And then when we are calling Accra, let's not discriminate
Yes.
against the teenagers and the children, because these are the ones that in 5 years they may be young adults. We'll be chasing after them, and then we are not getting them because something else may have taken their mind and their mindset. So I want to encourage you, just as we have said throughout this conversation, you have an automatic ministry space. Even if you are shy of adults, I don't think you are shy of teenagers and children as well. Talk to one in your neighborhood. Talk to a teenager or GSS3 or SS1. Speak to them. Ask them about their faith and whatever, and train them. Okay, you can get them close to you. Christmas, why a party can crazy? In the community, at my place like this, we try to have community clubs. So they are not Christians per se, but we just gather the children. Sometimes just teaching them not Bible, ABCD.
Okay.
Then because you brought in the play aspect, as for the play, we'll do Jesus play. Nice. So as we are playing, we are singing the songs, we will improvise our own kind of play. If you are playing any about Jesus Christ, Jesus, you play or when you jump say J, when you jump say E, then they are just excited about it. So we cannot do that.
An example of a friend I know who was coming from a Muslim home, but because of that, she's now an ardent Christian.
Wow.
So she said that when she was very young, so the father is a Muslim and the mother was a Christian. But you know, normally in such a relationship, it's easier for the children to
follow the mother.
Yes, follow the father actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, the Muslim community. So for her, she said whenever she goes to Sunday school, they used to give her biscuits, toffees, they used to open up to her. Aww. They were smiling, especially the Sunday school teachers, and they were bringing her closer. But when she used to go to Makaranta, that's how they call like Sunday school for Muslims, they would beat her. You have to recite some things that, and all of that. So she was like, no, she wants to go there again. And since then, she has become a Christian, and she's now doing her life like that. So I
beautiful.
Think it's
so let's just wrap this up and I just want to give a chance to Eunice to give a shout out. But I'm sure you've picked some very good nuggets from this conversation. I have picked mine. I know what I'm going to do from here. I hope you picked yours too. You can join with a group of friends if you think this is so difficult for you. And I'm sure it will get easy. Auntie Eunice, your shout out.
Shout out. Okay, I want to shout out to my husband, my number one fan. Hey. Shout out to Elder Joseph Akoto, and then to my mama, Mommy Grace.
Oh, mommy.
Yes, love you. God bless you. And all my siblings, as well as. Now, I don't have a physical father. I don't have a biological physical father, but I have a lot of spiritual fathers. I want to say hi to all of them.
Hi.
Elder Edu Yeboah, Pastor Otreda, Pastor Okwan, and the list goes on and on and on. I love you all.
We love you all. And we have a game to play as usual. So let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We are wrapping up the big conversation, and as usual, we have a game. This game is interesting.
Yes.
So you see the emojis on your screen, you identify the Bible character those emojis relate to, and then you mention the name. You hear me? I say, queen of the game, I'm the one asking. So let's see who is going to get it. So the first one is what you are seeing on your screen. I can see something like an old man, two zebras. Is it zebra? And then something like a
giraffe.
Giraffe. Giraffe. Why? Zebra is red and black and white.
Yes.
Camel red and black. Oh, Sarfoa, the way you're laughing at me is bad. Okay, and I see some. Is it boat or ship or something? Then there is something like. May come be brave. Yes, I'm munya answer.
But we know
it's no.
All right, so let's move to the next one you are seeing on your screen.
I know.
You know what?
King David.
David.
Please, let me confirm whether you people are giving me the right answer. Okay, right. It's David.
Yeah.
So we are moving to the last one. The very last one.
Okay, what is this?
The very last one. The very last one.
It's
Jonah.
either the very last one.
Is it Moses?
Moses.
Moses.
It's Moses. You know, I was coming towards the very last one. Is it the third one or the last one there?
I said the very
So I
last
didn't see,
one.
okay.
So when I saw the sea, I thought it was Jonah.
Oh, we would have seen a whale.
A whale,
For
exactly.
Jonah, whale is very identical to
Okay.
the situation.
All right, and so you see, Sarfoa is trying to take my position, but it's not going to work.
It is what it is.
I think today both people did very well with the game, and I hope you found it exciting. I hope that you're going to go to your church tomorrow, next week, and just ask that they should give you the chance to also impact the generations that are there. That's the teens and the children's ministry. And let us hear your experience with them. Maybe you read that out and see how we can also help you. So don't go anywhere. We have more for you. Welcome back. That was an interesting conversation we had in the big conversation.
Yeah.
I have taken a note of what I'm going to do. I hope you also have.
Same.
And as we always do, we are not going to end today without giving you the verse for the week. So, what's your support?
Yes, so we will take our verse from 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12 and 13. We'll dwell on the 13 much, but let me just read for emphasis. He said, 1 Timothy 4, 12, 13. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. 13. Until I come, devote yourself to the public reading of scripture, to preaching, and to teaching. And the stress is on the teaching, with what we heard from the big conversation, where we want younger ones like us to look back and then train the ones that are also coming up, because definitely they are the future leaders that will be seen as elders, pastors, apostles, evangelists, and all the list goes on and on. So let's do well to always look back and then train the younger ones after us.
Right, so we've been encouraged to devote ourselves to these things. So go back and read the verse for the week, and let's see you put that in action throughout this week. So as we end, we want to give some acknowledgements. We are shooting from Alex Neda Children and Youth Center right here at PIWC Graceland premises. We want you to give them a call. They can host your event and you'll have a swell time, believe me. And I have been beautifully glammed up by Aqua Makeover Studios. Aqua Makeover Studios, I always say makeup extraordinaire.
Okay. This is not the first time I'm hearing this makeup extraordinaire too.
Yeah.
Every time they are all makeup extraordinaire.
Yes, makeup extraordinaire. If you make me up, you are extraordinary. So thank you so much for doing this with us. God bless you.
And the same thing goes to my makeup artist, Rocked Beauty Lounge. Thank you so much for making me look beautiful, and also to my outfit, Classy Rosy Collection. You always make me look beautiful and glorious, as you can see. Thank you.
And we are going to give shout-outs. Our shout-outs go to, or my shout-outs goes to my family and friends. Okay. We appreciate you. My in-laws, Pastor and Mrs. Ochredakon. So Pastor Dixon and Mrs. Beatrice Ochredakon, because my husband is also Pastor Emmanuel Ochredakon. And I want to say a big shout out to him as well for always being supportive. God richly bless you. To all Wale City ministers and wives, I can't go without saying a big thank you to you for all the encouragement and always pushing me to do more. To my apostle and his wife, Apostle Norman Apia Dankwa, and Mama Ruth Apia Dankwa. God richly bless you for always being a great support for me.
A big shout out to my dad and mom, Apostle Victor Kusia Samoa, and Mama Rebecca Asamoah from the Bompata area in Kumasi. They've always been watching us. God bless you for the support and the investment. A big shout out to City on the Hill, PIWC Atomic, whoop, 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 whoop. And to all who watch us, look forward to seeing us every week, Sunday, 3 p.m. We say a big thank you and God bless you.
I want to say this special one to that. These two kids,
okay,
they are far away in Waliwale area, somewhere called Bintri.
Aww. And
when they say, Auntie, we've been watching you. So Nane Kia and my Abosha Ghana baby. I want to say that I love you so much. Keep on. And they told me that when they come on our set, they're going to teach us the tenets of the church.
Oh.
So get ready for Nanekia.
I am ready for them. And a big shout out to my Sunday school teachers, especially Sir Augustine. He is in Aframplins right now. But to all our Sunday school teachers, you are doing amazingly well.
Amazingly
it's a calling
well.
and you are doing it perfectly. God bless you and grant you more strength to even do greater works unto God. God bless you.
And so to wrap it up today, we want to say a big thank you to you, our viewers, for sticking and staying with us throughout this episode. And we'll come your way again next week. For now, it's bye.
When questions riddle our young minds, where do we find answers? Doubt, fears, struggles. You're not alone.
Adele, I think it's about time. We need to have this conversation ASAP.
Then let's get to it. And that's on period.
It's time to rise and to face the hard truths and embrace real conversations. Faith isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Join Sarfoa and Adele as they dive deep into the issues that matter most.
So many questions, and we are here to talk about them all.
This is where the journey of faith intercepts with realities of modern life experiences, from religion, businesses, faith, personal development, you can name them all.
Join us as we unpack the real issues young Christians face today, every Sunday on Pent TV and online.
On the Young Adult Chatroom.
Don't just wonder, be part of the conversation. The Young Adult Chatroom. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Pent TV and online. Let's talk about it.